Welcome back to another episode of Unfiltered Moments, the Premier League edition, with me, Mike, and Eddie. How's it going, Eddie?
Hello. I can hear something in the background, mate. What are you playing in the background, fella?
Oh, didn't realize that it was still on. It was just the radio.
It's the radio. You listen to radio, bro.
Yeah, man.
It's all about podcasts these days, mate. Not radio.
What's a good podcast to listen to?
I mean, I watch any and everything, to be fair, but my go-to was it the Math Hoffa one? Was it My Expert Opinion? I listened to Wallow and Gillies, $1 Million Worth of Game. I listen to very different things.
Is that YouTube or Spotify?
YouTube and Spotify.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I listen to a lot. Like, get me.
Winners Talking is a good one. Winners Talking podcast.
Who's that?
That's Pound Sterling and some next guy.
Yeah, I don't listen. I don't do none of them guys, bro. Like, let's be honest, bro.
Yeah. All right. So we're currently in the 29th game week of the Premier League season. So that would mean that there's only
nine games left.
9 games left to go. Wow. We're in the business end of the league. As it stands, Man City are still top, but Liverpool are right behind them on their coattails. And I think they can potentially go 1 point ahead. I think at the time of recording, they're playing Arsenal tonight. And if they beat Arsenal, they could go 1 point behind City. And they've still got to play City in City's backyard.
Yeah. I don't. There's going to be a lot of points dropped from now to the end of the season. Both teams are in Champions League still. Both teams, I believe, are fighting for the FA Cup as well. So they could potentially, Liverpool can do the quadruple and Man City could potentially do the treble. So it's all in, it's all out there, man, for them.
Or they could both do the double.
Yeah. But obviously, best case scenario is Liverpool doing the quadruple and Man City doing the treble.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario is them not winning nothing. But one of them's got to win the league. So I guess, one of them's got to win the league.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be one of them. Who's your money on?
Money's been on City from the start of the season. I think it's still going to be City. Because I feel like, obviously, let's go through the game week review or the game results, and then we'll talk about it more in it.
Okay, cool.
So we had. Go on.
No, I'm going to say, the first game was Brighton versus Liverpool.
Yeah, it was 2-0 to Liverpool. Great result for Liverpool away. Brighton's not an easy place to go to win. I saw the highlights of the game. I didn't watch the whole game. I saw the highlights. And Liverpool just do what Liverpool have to do to win nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they did that. Shocking result of the week. Brentford 2, Burnley 0.
Why is that a shocking result?
Because I thought Brentford can't even bloody Burnley, because obviously I tipped Burnley to stay up, innit?
Yeah.
So this is like a.
I was gonna say, to be fair, it was a home game for Brentford, and Brentford they're fairly strong at home. But on paper, Burnley should have won that game. Like, you would think Burnley would have taken 3 points, but come on, man, it's Brentford, man, Brentford.
It was a 6-pointer. It was a 6-pointer, innit? So now it's like, but then Burnley's got games in hand still, so
yeah,
could prove pivotal. That victory for Burnley. Ivan Toney, Brentford. Ivan Toney stepping up with his new haircut and that. As soon as he's cut his hair, scoring goals.
That's what I'm saying.
CR7 3, Spurs 2. So Cristiano Ronaldo came back to haunt Tottenham.
For me, that was a shock result because I thought it would be either a draw or Spurs win. But,
well, to be fair, it should have been a draw. I mean, Spurs should have. No, it should have been a draw because all the goals were Ronaldo's first goal. Lloris, what are you doing, bruv?
Yeah.
No.
Lloris, I don't know, man. Like, what do you think of Lloris?
You know what I think of Lloris.
No, with the exception.
No. I don't care that he plays for Tottenham. I don't care. I think he's France's weakest link. Again, he's the reason they didn't win obviously I say he's one of the reasons they didn't win the European trophy in their home their home nation, because for someone to score from 40 yards with a shot like that, come on, man. And I think he has his moments where he's a good shot stopper, but everything else he lacks.
Yeah, I think he's an average keeper, man. Average at best.
I swear you lot used to rate him. Like, people used to rate him. I said I've never rated him.
Not really, I've never really rated him, to be honest.
Yeah, but I watched the whole game. In all honesty, it was a game of two teams who were mixed. It's mixed confidence. The first 15 minutes were a bit shaky, but then Tottenham was more dominant in the whole game. But Man United got the vital goals at a vital time. Ronaldo stepping up, Sancho stepping up. Son just looks like he's missing a beat or something, because he was just slipping all over the place.
Yeah. That's mad though, because they had a good result the last week, so I would have thought that would have boosted them into game. That's
Tottenham though.
It's true.
And who did they play last week? They played
Everton
at home. But come on, man. Come on, Everton. Relegation battle. You're going to slap them. And then we move on to Sunday games. Chelsea 1, Newcastle 0. Oh. Lucky result for Chelsea.
What a finish though. That was a class finish by Havertz.
Before we get into that was a penalty, right? Which
one? Oh, Chalobah. Yep. On I think that was a penalty. Who was it? Was it Jacob Murphy? Yeah, he was tugging his shirt. Like that alone.
Even the final thing he did with his knee, took him out. Come on, man. And VAR didn't even intervene. That is a joke.
I was looking at it, I was like, yeah, this is going to be a penalty. Because I thought he was going to come back and say, yeah, VAR checking it. But they didn't even check. Or they checked and they thought it was fine. But yeah, we got away with that one. What about the elbow?
My man Havertz. The elbow, I can't see, with jumping for the ball, sometimes you do make a motion. So I can't say if he meant it or not. Going by the rules of the book, it should have been a red. But I understand why they gave him a yellow, because he's a player that is not in his nature. I think they go by the players, what the player's done in the past, which is wrong.
Do you think the same applied to Mane when he elbowed Aspilicueta in the Chelsea game?
Yeah. Same thing when he done it to Tierney against Arsenal last season. I think it's just the demeanor of the player, how the referee sees the player.
Yeah.
If Salah turns around and slaps you in your face, rather than Xhaka or someone else who is deemed physical or like Zaha player.
I bet if it was Zaha, he would have been sent off.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Because he plays with his heart on his sleeve, like a bit emotional.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean? Them kind of players, you're sending them off. But yeah,
but Havertz gave a good explanation, because he was like, obviously when you're jumping up, you are going to jump up with your arms. But Dan Burn's a tall player, so obviously when he's jumping high. Yeah, but Dan Burn is tall, isn't it?
Exactly. So then to catch him, because when you jump like this. You don't jump like this. Do you get what I mean? But anyways, it is what it is, man. He did it. If he meant it or not, we would never know. And again, why would he need to do it to someone like Dan Burn? Do they have prior history?
Yeah.
Like, we don't. I don't think so. So, yeah.
But yeah, let's talk about the finish though. That was Bergkamp-esque.
Oh, don't you ever dare compare Havertz to Bergkamp.
Wait, he's on his way. He's on his way to being a legend. Come on.
No, he's on his way to being John Franco Zola.
Franco Zola.
John, I call him. He's John.
John Franco Zola. Yeah. Oh man. But yeah, everything you're saying about Havertz is coming to fruition. Prophet Eddie.
I'm gonna stop speaking soon, because it's like my words fall on deaf ears. You get me? They fall on deaf ears. I should be on Sky Sports or BT. They should be paying me for all of this insight.
You should be.
We move on to Everton again.
Oh gosh.
Losing at home, 1-0 to Wolves. Frankie Lamps. What's going on, Frankie Lamps?
He's gonna get relegated if he's not careful.
Bro, looking there, I think, bro, they've got a tough run in there. Their last game is Arsenal, I think.
Yeah, their last couple of games is tough. It's very tough.
Boy.
Very tough. But yeah, well done to Wolves, picking up another win.
Wolves are actually a good team. They're actually a good team.
Yeah, they are. They are.
They were unlucky the last game they played. I think Newcastle, right? Was it Newcastle that they played last?
No, Crystal Palace.
Oh yeah, when they lost 2-0.
Yeah,
they were unlucky in that game. But they got the victory, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Leeds 2, Newcastle, Norwich 1. I keep saying Newcastle, bro.
Leeds, they missed a whole host of chances, man. I think they're another team. They need to be careful as well, because I don't know. I don't know if they're gonna make it, if they're gonna survive this season.
But they got firepower.
They have
something Everton lacks.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I think it's between Leeds, Everton, and I would say Burnley fighting for that last place. Because even Watford, if you think about Watford, I know we're gonna come to them. They're not too bad on paper, by the way. On paper.
I don't know, man. We'll see. We'll see how the next few games go. That's when I think Norwich is relegated, though. Norwich is gone.
Yeah, they're buried, man.
Yeah, they're gone. Southampton 1, Watford 2. Shocking result.
Yeah, this surprised me.
Surprised me as well. I would have thought Southampton was gonna wipe them up, like they're gonna slap them up,
but yeah, talking about Watford, I feel like they got like some decent individual players, like decent, like Emmanuel Dennis, even that Cucho guy, he's not too bad. Sissoko, huh?
They're gone.
No, I'm gonna say Sissoko seems to be like a different player. Like, man's captaining the team, like, and he seems to be doing bits. And I think they've got that new defender, Samir.
Yeah,
he looks fairly good.
It's a bunch of African players in their team, bro. And Sarr is still yet to touch pitch. That's what I'm saying. He's a dangerous individual.
Yeah.
So, and Joshua King didn't play either. He's another one that can get you a goal or two.
Yeah.
So yeah, like you said, they've got firepower, but it's not leaking on that in the other side. Just keeping clean sheets or keeping goals scored against to a minimal.
But that's the thing, because they've got Hodgson, they've always got a chance to keep a clean sheet.
And this is what I'm saying. And this is what I'm saying about Everton. They should have gone for a relegation proven manager, like a relegation surviving proven manager, rather than an up and coming potential good manager.
Maybe for like 6 months. If they survive, and then get Lampard.
Yeah, go for them. Some Allardyces and Tony Pulis of the world. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's true. All right, West Ham versus Villa.
Yeah, 2-1. West Ham are trying to pick up some form. They had a bad result midweek in the Europa League, so they stepped it up this weekend. Got the victory for their fans. Villa are hot and cold, man. Villa is, I don't know,
very hot and cold.
Because they're a very good team on paper. On paper, they've got a great keeper, decent back four. Midfield look very good. Attacking force, very, very good.
But you know what? I feel like as a team, they were better when they had Dean Smith as manager and they had Grealish as a team. I don't know. I just feel like as a team, they were better then. But now it's like, I find it difficult to say they're a good team. I feel like it's just moments of brilliance that's getting them through games, like Coutinho, Matty Cash. But I don't feel like as a team, they're playing like fantastic. Hence why they're hot and cold.
Whereas I think also, go on, finish.
No, I was just gonna say when they had Dean Smith as a manager, when he had Grealish, it could have been he was a one-man team and he was making everything tick, but they just seemed like they were more fluid and obviously they were keeping more clean sheets as well.
Yeah, but don't forget when they had Grealish, people were attracted to just Grealish, so he gave space for other players. And where Grealish was so monumentous in that team, everything went through him. But now it's like they're playing through different avenues. So sometimes when you play like that, it can be very confusing, or it won't always come off. You know what I mean? When most teams have a talisman.
Yeah.
I think at Aston Villa right now, it's like free for all. Jacob Ramsey wants to do his thing. Coutinho wants to put his name back on the list for the top clubs.
Yeah.
Ollie Watkins has got a point to prove. Danny Ings has got a point to prove. Douglas Luiz might want to go to a bigger team, so he's got a point. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know if they're playing for themselves or for the team.
Yeah.
Whereas when Grealish was there, it was built around Grealish, and everyone knew Jack is our man. Give the ball to Jack. He'll make something happen, and we'll benefit off that.
Yeah.
So that's what I think. And obviously Gerrard is his first. I wouldn't say it's his first serious, but it's a step up into managerial, the managerial role. So yeah, he's gonna blow hot and cold until he finds the right balance.
The last couple of years, you can really, really tell that the Premier League has stepped up in quality. Like, there's no easy teams in the Premier League.
Well, you say it's quality. I think it's lack of quality.
You reckon?
Because because think about it this way, right? If you look at the Premier League now, and the Premier League when, let's say 2002, 2003, right? There was quality players there, but it's just that other teams had better players. Like the top 4 teams had better players. Now, you have 6 or 7 outstanding players, and then you have great players who work very hard. If you take City, Liverpool, potentially Chelsea out of the equation.
Yeah.
You have a lot of average players in certain teams. Obviously, you have quality players in the teams, but majority of the team is based on the team cohesion, not necessarily an individual or someone like a certain amount of individual brilliance. So I think where people are seeing it, the league is more competitive. It is because the quality of players and maybe managing styles is less than what it was before. Because imagine if Alex Ferguson was in his prime in this era and Wenger was in his prime in this era.
Yeah,
we might be saying something different. They might be running away with the league.
That's true.
As Liverpool and Man City are doing.
So would you say that's the case for a team like West Ham, where they got a lot of players that are working hard?
Yeah.
The team good.
You wouldn't say, obviously, barring Declan Rice, you wouldn't say anyone else at West Ham is outstanding and should be playing for a top 16.
Well, I would have said Benrahma, but he hasn't really shown enough for me to say that.
Yeah, but again, he's hot and cold.
Yeah.
And we saw it with Ross Barkley. He was at Everton doing exceptional, went to a big team, did not work out for him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think that's what it is. And a prime example of that is the Wolves. Wolves has got a lot of, in the team that they're playing in, amazing players. But if they went to another team, would they have the same sort of level of performance?
Yeah.
We don't know,
Yeah, true. That's a good point. Yeah.
Then you got the result of the week. Arsenal 2, Leicester 0. Jesus. So pate after pate.
I'm very curious to see how Arsenal shape up next season. Because obviously the way you lot are playing well, but you ain't got no Europe. You ain't even got a lot of players, not a big squad. So next season is when the real test happens. If you guys get into Europe, who you guys are gonna buy, who's gonna come into the team and whatnot.
All right. Can I ask you a question? Because we had this debate with a certain Liverpool supporter telling me Henderson is on the same level as Partey, bro. I said to him, you need to sit down, bro. Henderson would never in his lifetime play for Atletico Madrid. Never. Is Henderson on Partey? And I'm not saying it because of the performance he's just had. I'm talking about as a player. Yes, Henderson has an influence on his team because, again, he was born in England, lived and breathed the Premier League, knows what's required to be a player in the Premier League. Partey was not born here. He went to Spain, learned the game different, and he's trying to adapt in his second season. And he's had injuries upon injuries in his first season and a half.
Yeah, I think ability-wise, he's better than Henderson. Obviously, you can't disregard Henderson and what he's done for Liverpool. But saying that, it might have been a different story if he was at a different club. He might not have the same impact because he was shit at Sunderland.
He was shit. He was probably the best out of
He was bang average, man. 20 million. It looked like a bump at the time.
That's what I'm saying. But I look at him. So sometimes, your manager and your team can make you like excel. A prime example, bro. Danny Drinkwater, bro. At Leicester, he looked amazing. But then he comes to Chelsea, where you have to have individual brilliance and something else about you.
Yeah,
it doesn't quite work out for you. You know what I mean? Luckily, Henderson went to a club where they stuck by him. Because don't forget, his first few years at Liverpool were a bit tricky. It's only when Klopp came in and then they saw him as this Hendo kind of guy. He wasn't really getting capped for England them times. No, he was in and around. He was in and around the team, but he wasn't a starter.
It's true. So do you think the same applies to Jamie Vardy if he was to like go somewhere else other than Leicester?
Vardy's a very smart player. He stayed where he's loved, and a lot of
the team is built around him as well.
A lot of good players need to do that. Don't get hyped. Like, don't believe the hype. You're not, because someone like, I want to see who's an example.
Grealish. I know he's only just moved.
No. People disrespect Grealish too much, man. He's learning the Man City philosophy. Don't forget, he's the only player Klopp has bought, and he's put him in the team straight away.
Pep.
Everyone else, what did I say? Klopp. Pep. Everyone else, Pep has eased them into. But when he bought Mahrez wasn't playing as many games as Grealish.
Yeah, it's true.
Do you know what I mean? De Bruyne's exceptional. He had to play, but he was there before Pep.
Even Bernardo Silva, I think.
That's what I'm saying.
His first season, he didn't really play much.
But Grealish is just straight in there. So he must see something in training, and he must be doing something that he likes. Because Pep is a player, he would drop you. He doesn't care. He could be a world-class player who would drop you. So, yeah. Okay, so an example is, what's his name? Eddie Nketiah, right? You could be Arsenal's number 2 striker, but you want more game time. So what? You're going to risk going to a Newcastle. No, he can't even go Newcastle no more.
He could go West Ham, but they need a striker.
Yeah, but then you still be playing second fiddle to right back Antonio. So, and this is no disrespect to Antonio. Antonio's doing this thing up front, but I believe he's a right back.
But I'm guessing the reason why he wants to move, I guess if he was to sign for a club on a free transfer, there's more chance of them giving him assurances. Whereas in his current climate, maybe they've said to him, we're going to bring someone in, like, you're going to be a number 2 or a number 3. Whereas he could go somewhere and they could be like, yeah, we're going to offer you game time. We can't guarantee you're going to be a number 1, but we're going to offer you game time. Sometimes people want to take that risk because they're like, okay, well, if my current club can't like guarantee me game time, then at least let me go elsewhere and maybe get more money or.
But you will get game time at Arsenal because, like you said, this season we're not in Europe. Hopefully next season we are in Europe, and we'll be in other cup competitions because he has got game time in the League Cup. They stuck by him in the League Cup.
I think he should stay.
That's an example I'm giving regarding like players who are homegrown and come for the academy. Obviously came for the Chelsea academy, got released, but we picked him up. But you get me, we gave him an opportunity. So
he could become a cult hero and get a song like Saka and Emil Smith Rowe.
That's what I'm saying. There was one point everyone thought Emil Smith Rowe was done out here because we loaned him out to Huddersfield, and now look at him, he's back with Vim.
But even now he's not even playing too much. But obviously
injuries.
I know, but I think he still knows what he's worth to Arsenal, even though he ain't been playing much. And I think,
bro, he got the number 10 shirt, bro. He got the number 10 shirt.
Nketiah could get number 9.
Nah, he won't. He won't, unfortunately, because Balogun will be back as well.
Who's the better striker? Quick question. Yeah, who's the better striker?
Better striker in Nketiah. He's a better player, Balogun.
Okay.
Because Nketiah is a goal scorer.
Yeah. All right. So Monday's game, Crystal Palace against Man City.
0-0.
Dropped points for City. A hard-fought point for Palace.
City always struggle against Crystal Palace for some strange reason. If it isn't Townsend scoring a screamer, it's something else with them. Like, that's their bogey team.
It's Palace, Southampton, and Tottenham, isn't it? That's their bogey teams.
And Newcastle sometimes to a certain point.
Yeah.
I don't know, like, yeah, I think, but City dominated that one. Looking at the highlights, oh my God. They did everything but put the ball in the net, bro.
I know.
Literally. You know. Everyone's talking about Olise playing for England, or they're trying to get into cap for England. Well, Olise, go play for Nigeria, bro.
You know you can play for France.
Go play for Nigeria, bro. He's not gonna get in the French, not in the French team right now. Come on.
If I was him, I'd go for Nigeria as well. Why not? Play for your African country, man. He's a baller though.
Yeah, no. Apparently Arsenal's looking at him as well. NCE.
Is it?
Yeah, he's only what, 19? Is he 21 or 19?
He's
between that age.
I think he's 20 now. Or 19, 20.
He came from Reading, isn't it?
Yep. Reading was his first professional club, I think. Or his first professional, like full season as a professional at a club.
Yeah.
And he got like 8 assists, something like that.
That's decent. Yeah.
Do you know who I feel sorry for? Sorry, just a quick one. I feel sorry for Eze, man. Eberechi Eze. Because he's decent.
He's injured. But he got injured. He had a serious injury.
But it's like, is he going to get into the team? Because the team's doing so well without him.
Nah, he will. Because Conor Gallagher's not going to be there next year. So that position will take his place. Yeah, it's vacant. You know what I mean? Yeah, but you have to ease him in because he had such a serious injury. You have to ease him in. You know, you can't just force him in. And it's not like they need him right now. Because before he got injured, he was their man. Not even Zaha.
Yeah.
So, and obviously you can always push Zaha forward and then put Eze on the left. So they've got options. But yeah, there's a few games obviously still to play. Brighton, Spurs, which is today, as we're recording. Arsenal, Liverpool is today as well. And then on Thursday, you got Everton versus Newcastle.
I need to watch that game. I don't know. I want Everton to get relegated. It's not even because of Lampard. They're just so shit at the moment, man.
You heard it here first. He wants a Chelsea legend to, go down.
Nah, it's just unfortunate that Lampard's gone there. But I'm just looking at Everton's season as a whole. They've had a shocker of a season. They should never have signed Benitez. I know we mentioned this last episode, but that was a catalyst for their downfall, man. But yeah. All right.
So that result has made the title race open, that Man City result.
It has indeed. It has indeed. Crystal Palace have had a big say in the title race. But obviously there's still more games to go. Anything can happen.
I think Man U is gonna have a big say because they gotta play Liverpool. Arsenal today could potentially have a big say, but I'm hearing news that Gabriel might not be playing for Arsenal because his wife has gone into labour.
So you got to have a baby on the way. You had a baby just recently.
Gabriel?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's his second
child.
That's crazy. Cause I think without him, we struggle. We struggle very, 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 very. Because him and Ben White has formed a formidable partnership. For Holdren to step in such a big game, I don't know, man. We'll need all our best players.
Where's Tomiyasu? Because he can play centre back.
He's been injured, man. He's had a calf injury. He had a calf injury on one of his foot and then on one of his legs, and then when he got better, the other leg went as well. So again, they're trying to ease him back in. We're not trying to force them. So we're having.
Cedric's been all right though. Yeah, he's done a good job.
He's done okay, man. He's been lucky a few times. Some of his passing, because he made a mistake and he didn't get punished for it against Watford. But he's always got a mistake in him. I think he panics a lot. So he's not he ain't got my vote of confidence. He ain't got my vote of confidence right now. To be fair, I'd rather we play like Tavares right back today. Yeah, for his speed and his strength in it. Because obviously we're going against Liverpool. Yeah, we're going against Liverpool, man. You need all of that.
Okay. So Eddie, as a professional referee, I need to ask you this question.
I'm not a professional referee.
What would you call it? Amateur, okay.
Amateur referee, yeah.
Amateur referee. Do you think it will be useful to have a former manager or player as part of the VAR setup?
That's a difficult one because former managers and players will have biases towards whatever team. So I think it would work. No, you know what? It won't work for the reason that players always feel like they know the game better than referees, and they don't. Let's be honest. Just because you play, don't mean you know the rules, how to referee or officiate a game. You know, obviously, what you deem to be a foul or the technical aspect of the game, but you don't know how to officiate because officiating is very difficult. As a player who stepped into refereeing, I saw I saw it in a different light because when you're a player, you do things off emotion. As a referee, you can't do things off emotion. You have to do it according to the book. Do you get what I mean? So if you have a manager an ex-manager, then it would have to be a manager from another country or something, or ex-player from another country.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna have ties with certain teams. Imagine a John Terry, doing VAR against, I don't know, Tottenham versus a team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The amount of grief and abuse he's got from Tottenham fans, he might just. But I'm not saying he will, because you have a lot of pundits like Gary Neville and that who sometimes are not biased. They're very, they speak the truth, or they're subjective.
They're not subjective. Yeah. But then you can say the same thing about some refs though, because some refs are open about who they support.
Yeah, but that's different.
Why?
Supporting and playing for a team is two different things. I've never played for Arsenal. I support Arsenal, but I can ref an Arsenal game and not have any physical, any emotional tides. Do you know what I mean? But if you've played for them and do you know what I mean? They sung your name. Imagine you play for Chelsea and then you're reffing a Chelsea game and your supporters are singing your name. Because you're a Chelsea legend. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. How does that work?
Go on.
I know you're asking about the VAR, so you're in the background, but even then, you're gonna have people saying, because people already say, "Oh, the referee support Man United, the referee support Chelsea, the referee support Arsenal." Imagine actually supporting Arsenal or playing for Arsenal. They're gonna be like, "Oh, you know why he gave that? You know why he gave that decision?
Yeah,
because he played for Arsenal."
So obviously, the argument is that it will be good to have the perspective of someone that's played the game or that's been on the pitch to sort of give their insight in the VAR room. So not necessarily to even overall thing, but they could be like, okay, look, from a player's perspective, this is the reason why he's done X, Y, Z. I think the referee should go and have a look. Do you know what I mean? So it's like they're collaborating to come up with the right resolution.
But they're not trying to look at it from the player's perspective. They're looking at it from the rule of the game. Yeah, not the because if it was from the player's perspective, then a lot of things won't be given because players don't. Some majority of players don't intend to foul a player or have their hand here. Yeah, do you know what I mean? For the ball to hit their hand, you don't intend to do it, but it happens, and that's the law of the game. The whole point of it, the law of the game, is to make the game fair and as fair as possible. Yeah. So if you start looking at it from the player's perspective, you're gonna have over 100 players. So what, you're gonna look, or 1,000 players, you're gonna look at each individual's perspective because every player is different.
Yeah, that's true.
And players know players get told these are fouls, these are not fouls, this is what's deemed as whatever. So they know. So they play accordingly. Do you get what I mean? So
because everyone goes by the same rules.
Yeah, the same rules, but VAR is very inconsistent at the moment. Not sure why, but again, it's humans who are operating it. It's technology, but it's humans operating it. So you're gonna make mistakes.
Okay, that's some good insight. Okay.
Try my best.
All right. From your opinion, do you believe there should be an independent regulator in football that's going to oversee transfers, ownership, and just other aspects of football, sort of have a different voice and make certain legislation about certain things. Like, what's your thoughts on that?
As in what, per club, or as in what do you mean?
So basically, it will be like a board that will sit either alongside or above the Premier League. And if someone wants to buy a club, then they have to go to that board and they have to assess that person. So they have to do a fit and.
Don't they do that already?
No, they don't. Anyone can just buy a club. There's no checks, nothing. Obviously, there's some checks, but it's not like they don't check your background and they just check if you've got the money and that you don't own another club, because you can only own one club if you're a Premier League owner. So obviously there's this. It's like what do you call it? I won't even say it's like a survey, but there's talks of a regulator that they're trying to bring into football, and I think it's something that might be coming in really soon.
Again, that opens up a can of worms, man. Now you start being judgmental and you start being picky and you start being prejudiced and stuff, because
obviously
you really need. Yeah, but our guidelines followed? Really? Like, rules are there to be broken.
Yeah.
I don't think an independent regulator is needed. What is in place is good. It's unfortunate what's happening to certain owners because of whatever's happening in the political world.
Yeah.
But all in all, have you ever heard of any bad business being done where someone or a consortium is buying a club? Not really. It's very rare.
Yeah.
Not that we know of anyway. They might have happened, but it's very rare. So if it's not broken, don't fix it.
Because I think it's also to help clubs. I think the main reason why it was it's being talked about, because I think a lot of clubs have gone bust. I think like Bury, Derby, they're obviously on the brink of going bust because they're in administration. And I think it's because of how their owners have handled the club. And I think a lot of it's not even like because they didn't care about the club, but it's just that they just weren't running it right. So
is it down to COVID?
I
know Derby's down to COVID.
Is Derby down to COVID? I wasn't sure about that.
Yeah, because obviously they didn't have any supporters. Because don't forget, some teams need the supporters' money to keep going.
Yeah.
And when you don't have fans for near enough, 3/4 of a season, maybe.
Yeah, it's devastating.
Like, it's devastating, bro. Because you still got people that you need to pay. You still got players that are playing and needs to be paid.
Yeah.
Some people base their model on that. Maybe for someone to buy a club, they need to have a certain amount of money to make sure that the club runs, rather than using the income and revenue to run the club. Maybe, I don't know, but
yeah,
maybe they can look into stuff like that. But then again, you're going to discriminate against people that might not have. Let's say Derby costs 2 million, but you need 10 million to buy a Derby because you need that money cycle to keep the club ticking, even if revenue's not coming in. But you're a diehard Derby fan and you got 2 million, you want to buy your club and run it as a business. So any money got in and you invest in it, they're gonna then say, oh, you know what, you don't have enough money. This guy who don't really care about football who's got 10 million, you can buy Derby. You know what I mean? So it's just like with VAR, it brings uncertainty into things. If a referee makes a mistake, it's there and it's done. Now that if it's VAR, you can talk about it because you're like, oh my God, they had time to review it. As a ref, you have an instant opinion or a judgment on something and then you give it. Yeah. And it's done. It might be wrong, but you've given it. But when it's VAR, you go and review it and it's still wrong and you still give it, there's questions.
You see, okay, with VAR, I mean, do you watch a lot of European football? Like German leagues?
Yeah, Champions League. I watch some German, but again, highlights. I won't say I watch the whole game.
So in the Champions League, how often do the referees go to the monitor?
Okay, let me use the Euros, for example. Okay. The Euros was very decisive and precise. If there was a issue, the VAR will say, yep, you got it wrong, is that? Or they'll be like, they'll look at him, like, go look at it now. They won't wait 5 minutes, be looking, is it, isn't it? You get me? So they're very decisive. I think that's how VAR should be. But again,
because when you watch like European football again, like the Euros, like you said, obviously that's an international tournament. Very rarely they got the decisions wrong whenever VAR intervened. So why the hell is it that the Premier League seem to be getting things wrong when they've got the same technology?
They want football to be entertaining. They don't want the league to be done out here. They don't want the league to be done like in January. That's just my opinion. I don't know if it's facts.
I mean, it's a good point.
It's a very good point. You think about it.
Because how many leagues are there in Europe? Obviously, there's like more than 50. Obviously, different quality. But in terms of the top leagues, there's about 5. And it's only England that seems to have these controversial decisions when it comes to VAR.
Precisely. And it's only England that most of the referees support certain clubs. They can't reveal it.
Okay. So I'm going to give you a list of players, yeah? And I want to know your opinion, what you think. I want to know if you think they're finished as a Premier League top level player, or if they can still redeem themselves by either still making a name for themselves in the club that they're at, or going elsewhere in the Premier League, or even not necessarily the Premier League, but just another club and just becoming great again. So I'll give you the names. I'll start off with...
I want your opinion as well. Don't be asking me, bro.
All right, cool. So Marcus Rashford.
Come to Arsenal.
What, player the number 9?
To redeem himself. Yeah, more forward.
Okay. I think he's done out here, to be honest. Unless he goes abroad.
Okay. He's done in the Premier League, yeah?
I think so. I don't think we'll see the same Marcus Rashford again. Okay. Because I don't know, I just don't see him improving. But I feel like if he goes abroad, the same way like Tammy Abraham has done, I think that's the only way he can redeem himself.
Okay.
Jesse Lingard.
Needs to move to a smaller club because there's too much expectation in the club that he's in at the moment and he can't live up to it.
Yeah.
So he's not done out here in the Premier League.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, if he goes to like, I don't know, like a Brentford, or I don't know, what other clubs are there? Like a Southampton, yeah.
For Wolves, imagine him at Wolves. The way Wolves press.
It's true. You'd kill it. Dele Alli.
Dele Alli's been done out here for a while. I think he needs to go abroad, probably Spain or Italy.
Yeah, I think he's done as well because he ain't even putting up trees at Everton, and it's Everton. I know he hasn't really been starting, but he must not be doing something right in training for him not to even get games. So yeah, I think he's done. Dominic Calvert-Lewin. I know you don't rate him.
Say bad things, bro. He's not done out here in the Premier League, but he will do what Calvert-Lewin's supposed to do, which is get 9 goals, 10 goals a season in any club.
I actually think he will do well for Arsenal. Personally.
For you to say that, bro. So, okay, but why don't Chelsea buy him? Because you don't need a striker. Lukaku's not doing it for you, though.
Yeah. I mean, we can't do no wrong with Lukaku.
You take Calvert-Lewin, yeah?
I would, but I wouldn't have him as a main striker.
You're smoking. Anyway,
I'd have him as a backup. I think he's a decent backup.
Wow. Okay.
Ross Barkley.
Yeah, he's done out here, man. He's done out here. He needs to go abroad.
Or Championship.
Nah, just go abroad, not Championship. Championship is very cruel to players that used to play in the Premier League. It's a very, very different ball game.
Nicolas Pepe.
He's a bit of a difficult one. I think he's not done out here in the Premier League for the main fact that he can play as a false 9 and be very effective. So I think if he stays at Arsenal or go to a lesser team, you see a different Nicolas Pepe.
That's a good idea, actually. Yeah, I don't really have an opinion on him because I feel like he's still got more to give simply because he hasn't been playing a lot of games. So I'd like to see him get given a chance. That false nine idea, that's a good idea, actually. But I don't see that happening. Lukaku.
Point to prove he's not done out here in the Premier League. I think he needs to go to a team that suits the style of play that he wants. I don't think Lukaku can adapt his style of play. So I don't think Tuchel's a best suit for him. Again, I mentioned in previous episodes, Tuchel's never had a striker like Lukaku.
Yeah.
So how do you expect him to make it work with him?
Okay. I think he's still got a chance. Because if he's still there next season, and obviously if Chelsea's still functioning and Tuchel is still there and everything sort of continues with a new owner, I believe he's got a chance of still making a name for himself at Chelsea. But yeah, if he doesn't pop off next season, that's it. He's done.
I think if Tuchel was there, he's not gonna ever make it at Chelsea. He's not a Tuchel kind of striker.
Yeah. But things can change, innit? Because they'll have a full preseason to
yeah, but why would you change your whole dynamic of your? Think about it, if you change your whole dynamic, that means when Lukaku gets injured or is not in form, what are you gonna do then? You have to have a different.
But Lukaku might change because he's getting older, innit? You know, as players get older, they realize, you know what, I need to adapt my game because I'm losing pace or I'm losing strength. Or
you need to have again. You want me to say something? I'm not gonna say nothing bad, but okay, cool. I've said what I've had to say. I'm keeping it simple.
You can say it constructively.
Nah, I'm not, because I've said it so much. I don't want Lukaku to think I hate him. I don't hate him. I love you, Lukaku. It's unfortunate he played for Chelsea, but
all right. Joe Gomez.
Yeah, can still make it in a Prem. Again, he's in a team where they expect 10 out of 10 performances. He can't give that, so he needs to go to a lesser team and, you know, make a good living.
But he was given that. He just got injured.
I mean, we thought he was until Matip stepped up. That's all it is.
So what, you think he was given like 9 out of 10 and then Matip came and gave 10 out of 10?
No, I think at the time he was giving the level Liverpool was at. But Liverpool has then gone to another level or maybe 2 levels that he can't seem to get to. So, you know.
Konate is obviously offering that. Because he always steps in. No problem. Okay. Last one. Aaron Wan-Bissaka.
Yeah, he needs to leave the league. He needs to leave the Prem or go to a team. Why are you laughing?
Because I know we spoke about this in the last episode.
He needs to go play for Congo, bro.
I can't
play for Congo. Him playing for Congo might bring a different thing in him and make him a better player.
It's true.
Like Zaha, when Zaha started playing for Ivory Coast, you saw the fierceness, the strength. You know what I mean? So
I just can't understand how he's just become so shit.
He's not shit. It's just that his game is very, very limited. And when you have a manager that expects, you know, for you to be able to be as good as you are defensive as well as going forward. Yeah. You don't have that in your locker. It's unfortunate.
Play him in the back three, innit? On the right side.
But even if you do that, he's not comfortable on the ball to be in the back three like that. So, and then positioning, you have to teach him positioning because the back three is very different to playing as a fullback or a centre back. You know, because you got to step up, you got to do certain things. You're going to have a sweeper. It's all different, man.
I personally, I don't think he's a top level defender. I thought he was because I used to rate him highly, but recently he's not showing nothing. And I know the modern day fullback, you have to be able to defend and attack. He can't attack like others. So I think he'll be best suited in a lesser team.
And then also people whenever you mention Wan-Bissaka, he's their best one-on-one defender. Who cares, bro? That don't win you games, being the best one-on-one defender. Football's based on other 10 players on the pitch.
And if you find yourself in a one-on-one, that means you're not defending right.
I mean, it's gonna happen on football, but like, if it does happen, so what? People are saying he's the best one-on-one defender, so that would mean he must have played the whole of the back four. Then you must just buy a bunch of one-bit-suckers in your back line. You're not gonna do that because you need players to be able to move the ball forward and do other things with the football. Even centre backs nowadays, like you're seeing people like Ben White, Van Dijk, Thiago Silva, Rudiger. Look at Rudiger, bro. He can bomb through the middle and bang a shot.
Yeah.
So it's all different aspects of being like, it's not just you're just there defending. You can do other things as well.
That's true. You got to give more to the team.
Yeah, because football, goals win games.
Going back to what you were saying earlier about a lot of the players and the teams have hard-working players. I'm not saying that he doesn't work hard, but obviously working hard means that you bring other attributes to your game and to the team other than what you was bought to
Look
do.
at Bernardo Silva. Bernardo Silva runs around like he's on Saturn, bro. He's on speed.
And he's a baller.
But then he has the technical. That's what I'm saying. He'd run around, he'd be slide tackling, he'd be defending in his box. And then you see him on the other side, just volley a ball into the top corner like it's nothing. You know what I mean? So it's different. It's different levels to this, man.
That's why Pep loves him, isn't it?
But I mean, I wish he sold him to Arsenal because he was trying to buy him when he wanted to leave. But Pep knew he was too good. Like, look at him. He's put Gundogan on the bench. And Gundogan is not a bad player. You know? So he just goes to show, man. And he's playing centre mid. Who would ever thought Bernardo Silva would be playing as a centre mid in Man City, bro? Box to box. Come on. He's doing madness.
Cool.
Doing madness.
All right. Well, we've come to the end of the episode. It's been a great episode. Great discussion.
Good talking points.
Yeah, man.
But there's one more thing I want to say. One more thing.
Go for it.
PSG, you disappointed me, mate. One thing I've got wrong.
Oh yeah, you predicted them, innit? They're a joke team.
I have nothing to look forward to. So thank you, PSG. Thank you, Mbappe, Neymar, Messi, Danilo, then the rest of you, Donnarumma, whoever. Thank you.
And where's Ramos?
He's on vacation, bro. He for what? I'm retiring soon. You don't want to pay me that much? Cool, let's go. Now, I find he's had bare injuries, but so I think if Ramos is there, they don't capitulate. He's got that character. He will tell you to F off, bro.
It's true.
He'll kick you off the pitch himself.
But Marquinhos, though, he's been solid for them. And I don't know what happened to him, man.
Listen, when you start playing with kids, sometimes you turn into one. Sometimes you just lose yourself. You think if Ramos was next to him, he'd be doing them dumb stuff.
That's true, you know.
and don't forget, when he was good, who did he have by his side? Thiago Silva.
Yeah, that's a valid point.
PSG.
Right.
Come to the end. It's been emotional. Just final words. Players, we don't speak to hate on you. We just speak what we see and we speak what we feel. So don't feel like, you might never hear this pod, but if you do hear it, please don't come for us and ask us for us to be cancelled because we just expressing our opinions on things.
Or more importantly, just come on and have your say. We're happy to have a conversation. But yeah, it's not personal. Don't
do a Lukaku and have an interview by your manager not doing and saying madness.
Yeah, man. All right, well, we'll see you on the next episode. Please like, share, and subscribe. Peace.
And comment.
Yes.
Peace. All right. Bless up, Mike.